die. When using frameless dies with a coordinating stamp set, the steps are you stamp the image and then you frame or center the die around it and put it through your Big Shot, and then you get a nice even cut all the way around. Well, today, instead, I'm going to show you how you can stamp after die cutting that can save you a lot of time when doing multiples. In case you've never stamped and then die cut, well, I'm going to demonstrate that first before showing you how to die cut, then stamp. I'm Shelley Godby, the owner and CEO of Stamping Smiles, and for 17 years, I've been teaching others how to create their own hand-stamped smiles. And so at the end, stick around because I'm going to show you an adorable card I made using what we die cut, then stamped with the Amazing Life stamp set. Here's a closer view of the Amazing Life stamp set and the rectangle stitch frameless dies. Both of these are from the 2019 Stampin' Up! Occasions catalog, and they're offered in a bundle. And what that means is when you order the two of these together using the special bundle item number I've listed right here, you'll save 10% on both. And you're going to want both of these. Look at this. So happy to have you in my life. What a nice sentiment. And today we'll be using Life's Too Short to Say No to Cake. Well, amen. And rectangle stitch frameless dies, well, we're going to be using these with this stamp set and a whole lot more. And so what's so cool about these, the stitching you get when you die cut all around, but you also have it on the other side. So if you want to die cut a hole in your paper, you'll have that stitching around the border. So cool. So here we go. If I were to use this one, well, that's not too hard to do, right? So I wanted to make it more challenging, and how we're going to do that, we're going to use the Swirly Frames frameless dies, and we're going to stamp after die cutting. So here we go. I have it already stamped, and look how tight that is. So let's set it up and show you first how you stamped, and then we'll die cut, and then we'll do just the opposite. I've got my Big Shot die cutting machine. Instead of using the Big Shot platform with a thin die adapter, I'm going to use the magnetic platform instead. Now this is an additional purchase, but one that is well worth it because the magnets hold our die in place for us. So next we need a cutting pad, one that's not cut into yet. Look at that. And then our cardstock that's stamped, and then the coordinating die. This is one of our rectangle stitch framelets, and we want to center this around the image. We want a nice even border, and I can't see without being right over top, so we're going to pretend this is really good. If it's not, we'll ooh and ah together. Okay, fantastic. And then to finish a sandwich, we need a cutting pad. Place it on top. Don't slide it because you could slide the whole die. And then we'll hold this together, crank it through. That's nice and tight as it puts 3,000 pounds of pressure down to die cut our image. And there we go. Fantastic. And see that stitching all the way around? Pretty stinking cool. So now I'm going to show you how you can save time by die cutting, then stamping. The amazing Stamparatus stamp positioning tool is how we're going to be able to stamp after die cutting and getting it right where we want it. So when I die cut, I used an oversized piece, so I had a nice frame to hold the die cut piece I really want to stamp on, and it just fits right in there. And so I've already gone ahead and done this and lined up the stamp with this. Now that can take a little bit of time, and so I don't want to undo it, but you just lay the stamp on there, fold this over, then the stamp will cling to this. Okay, so we've got that in place. Now because it's hitting the whole border, I'm not going to be able to really hold this down. Well, maybe a little bit. And we'll try a little tiny bit. All right, and so then I'm going to use the Daffodil Delight Classic Stampin' Pad. We're going to pick this up, slide it open, and give this a good inking. And if those magnets are in my place, we'll just move them. And if I didn't do a great job inking, that's the beauty of this. We can go back and do it again. And so, yeah, those are in my way. Hold on. I thought so. But I do want to hold my cardstock, my frame. Okay, and then I'm going to press everywhere. And I've done this a couple times designing my card, and I didn't always get a great image, but that's the beauty of the Stamparatus. We just put it down and do it again. Let's see. All right, but look, it's centered right where we want it, and we just stick it right back in there so I can continue pressing. Okay, isn't that stinking cool? So what's nice about this, okay, almost have it, just one more time, need a little bit more up here, is if you're doing multiples, you know, so it does take a little bit of time to get it set up, but once you do, you are all set. You just have a whole bunch of die cut pieces and put them back in there, you know, one after another, because you're all set up. And I did that. I did, for my December thank you card, I used the First Frost stamp set and die cut that rose, and it saved me so much time by doing this. Now I have to say, now this is, you know, a clear mount stamp set, so I couldn't see through like I could the photopolymer, so it took a little bit of time for me to get it, but once I did, I had, well, I made a lot of these cards, but while I had it, I just kept die cutting and stamping because I was just, oh, stick it in the little frame, stamp, stick it in the little frame. I wanted to make sure I had plenty, and I sure did, because this is just the coolest thing ever. You can see, I don't know if I didn't get it inked or if I just didn't press, but that's the beauty, again, of the Stamparatus. We can go back there. Oh, that was just didn't press. Okay, so while we have it set up, all right, so we'll go ahead, and I have the other plate with the images I want from the Amazing Life stamp set. And this time we're going to use the Tuxedo Black Memento ink pad. Ink these up. Now honestly, if you're only doing one or two cards, just go ahead and stamp, then die cut, because it takes a little while to get everything all set up. But if you're going to do multiples, it's worth your time, because like I said, it took me a while to get that rose set up, but oh my gracious, I had so many stamped in no time at all. All right, so there we go. Again, this is why I love the Stamparatus. I didn't do a good job somewhere, so we just ink that up a little bit more and get that stamped. Fantastic, isn't that awesome? So now, if I wanted to do this, seriously, you can see you die cut a whole bunch and just whip them out. And so, I don't know if I said this or not, I do a whole bunch of scrap pieces. Well, I shouldn't say a whole bunch, I do a couple, and then I try it until I get it just right. I don't start on my cardstock, I start on, you know, I start with this, put a bunch of scrap pieces inside until I get it right where I want it, and then I'm all set up. Okay, so let me put this aside because I promised to show you my Amazing Life card. Here it is, my adorable Amazing Life birthday card. Isn't this colorful? Well, I used the Stampin' Blends to color the cake and the word cake, and look at this ribbon. Isn't this fabulous? This is the Coastal Cabana Granny Apple Green reversible ribbon, also from the Occasions catalog, as well as the sequins, self-adhesive, just put them on. So I'll have a link to my blog post with all of the supplies and the measurements so you can make my adorable Amazing Life card too. So if you're only going to make one or two, go ahead and stamp then die cut. But if you want to make a stack of them, I really recommend setting it up so you die cut then stamp, and you know, with the color, and you can change colors, right? Just clean it off, and so you can do some that would be masculine, feminine, whatever, because I did this in some pinks and purples, and that was really pretty too. So now you know how you can, if you ever want to, die cut and then stamp using the amazing Stamparatus stamp positioning tool. All the supplies to make my Amazing Life card are listed below the video and available to order now in my online store, www.shopwithshelly.com. And if you'd like more of my stamping tips, well, I invite you to subscribe to the Stampers Insider. It's your free stamping source for inspiration, information, and ideas. Just go now to www.thestampersinsider.com to subscribe. I'm Shelley Godby, teaching you how to create hand-stamped smiles. Thanks for watching.